So you trained early today. Is that because of the heat? I mean, you finished early as well.
Yeah, lucky. We trained early, I thought, because we were going to train longer, but no, it was because of the heat. Get in and out before it gets too hot, so I think today and tomorrow is going to be quite warm.
So what's the wash up from Friday? It got pretty hot, and you got a really hot match coming up on Saturday. So what's the wash up about? Obviously, you won the game, but there was stuff inside, outside that maybe affected that we're talking about more than actually what happened on the park.
No, we didn't really touch on it yesterday. We did the review, and it was about the football. There was things that we weren't happy with, and Marco's touched on it in his post-match press conference, and he mentioned that we gave him too many chances on the back of our good chances, like we were too open. That's a little bit of a trend that we want to stop. So there was nothing said about anything else apart from what we can do better and improve on for victory.
You could have won that one by more, because in the second half there was a lot of chances that, because the game really opened up as they were chasing goals at 2-0, but then you got a little bit too close.
Yeah, I think we made it way more difficult than what we needed it to be. We were pretty comfortable at 2-0, and there was more chances. With our pace up front, we're always going to create chances when teams have to come out at us. We can be solid and then get them on the counter, and we knew that, but we weren't as effective defensively as we need to be to let those guys kind of do their thing. But yeah, on another day we score 4 or 5, and it's nothing said. But that's, I think against the top teams, you can get punished, and we have to be careful.
So you got obviously a team that's travelling quite well, 1 point above you. If you win, you go above them. You're missing Taylor. I'm not sure if Jakobsen will be ready, but you've also played there as a stopper. Are you looking at doing shape? Is that being talked about, you going back there?
No. If they've spoken about it internally, they haven't mentioned it to us. Jakobsen's back full training, so I would imagine he'd be straight back in. But that's something you'd have to ask Marco. It's a good timing to get him back fully fit.
So how important will your role be? Obviously you've been important throughout the season, but Honda's is the main man, and he doesn't need the ball a lot, but when he gets the ball he'll hurt you, and it looks like he's going to be around your location more or less.
Yeah, they're so dangerous. They've got so many players that can hurt you, so I think if you focus on Honda alone, you'll get hurt by Troisi or Antonis, who's having a good year. Costa's up front. It's a very dangerous team, and they're red hot at the moment. So not just my role, everyone's role. We have to be switched on defensively, and we have to win our duels. And then I think we're good enough going the other way that we can hurt them. But we have to match them, and we have to control their attack.
Is there any emotion still attached to Melbourne Victory by yourself, seeing that you were there like in the early days and won stuff with them?
Nah, it's been 12 years almost.
12 years.
And I think only Muscat's coaching them now. We've spoken about this before. No, there's not really. It's a team from my home city, and it's good that my family get to come and watch. That's pretty much the only connection I have.
So what's the goal? I mean, obviously the win is the goal, but what do you need to do to beat this team?
Just stuff that I mentioned before. We have to be better defensively. We have to be more compact, more solid. I think if we give them as many chances as we've given some other teams in the last few weeks, we'll get punished. So we have to be defensively strong, and that's the key to winning. I think their front four is their danger.
So what have you made of their start to the season as well? They obviously lost their first 2 games, now they're 4 games unbeaten, and they're looking good. Yeah,
they're looking good. They're a very, very good team. They start pretty slow. So for them to be in this form early, it shows that they're a very good team, and they're going to be, I think, title contenders, the favourites probably. So I think this is how we probably expected them to play. Whether we expected it so early, who knows? But with the players they got, they were always going to be up there.
There's another game where obviously Kevin, he likes to talk. He's a good guy, but I mean, in that zone, you probably hear him a lot, talking to the fourth officials, maybe having a crack at you guys out in the middle. So what do you do? Do you block that out, or do you get yourself involved and maybe? Is it all part of the gamesmanship to win a game?
Yeah, it is. And Muskie's probably the best at it. and doing whatever he needs to do to win. And then if that's from the sideline putting off the opposition players, he'll do it. I've seen him do it. But it doesn't really affect me. We're used to hearing coaches from the sideline screaming, so I'm pretty not close, but I got along well with Muskie when I played. So, there won't be any anger or whatever. It'll be all banter and all trying to win the game.
Yeah, so I mean, just with the younger players, what do you do in this situation? Because a lot of them maybe don't understand it. Maybe a lot of fans don't even understand the banter and where it goes and all that. What do you tell your young players?
I think you just focus on the game. For me, a lot of the times you don't hear a lot of the stuff that's said because you're so focused on your job and the heat of the battle in there. It's the crowd. You kind of don't hear them until there's a stoppage or something happens. So, a lot of the time the young players don't need anything said. On game day, if there's something that happens during the game that you need to pull them and just tell them to relax, then yeah, we can do that. But I think we'll be all right. Most of our starting 11 or squad has been involved in these games before, so it should be good. Looking forward to it.
How have you viewed your start of the season as well? You've obviously been a real integral player in the midfield for us.
Yeah, I guess okay. I'm not overly happy with how I've been going, but as a group we've been going pretty well. I've had some good games, some average ones, but my role, I guess, is to stay in the team and do my side, and I'm obviously doing it well enough to be starting, most games. But yeah, just stay fit, and I think you can see what you're going to get from me every week, and that's not going to change.
It's that time of the season too where pre-contract stuff happens. So have they talked to you yet?
Not yet. No, yeah, but it's the time. Yeah, you can talk to other clubs if they approach you, but nothing's been mentioned to me. I'm not sure about other players, but not me yet.